Hey there, Lysandra Everett here, and I'm continuing my in-depth book review, I guess that's what I'll call it, The One Thing by Gary Keller and Papasan. So in chapter 7, he talks about willpower. And here's, I guess this is something I never really thought of in this context. So here's how he starts. Often quoted as a statement about sheer determination, the Old English proverb, where there's a will, there's a way, has probably misled as many as it helps. Okay? So, he's talking about the power of will. Okay? And he describes will and willpower as a muscle, right, that has to be exercised, but it also gets expended as you use it more. And so here's what it says. He says, when you have your will, you get your way. Although character is an essential element of willpower, the key to harnessing it is when you use it. When are you mentally strongest? And it says willpower has a limited battery life, but can be recharged with some downtime. So essentially, like I said, it's like a muscle. You think about when you're working out, if you're lifting a weight, the first time is not so bad. But as you do more repetitions, the harder it gets. You don't feel it on the second or the third, but by the 10th repetition, then you're feeling the difficulty in lifting your weight. And so he goes on to say, the more we use our mind, the less minding power we have. So, the more you think, the more you expend your mental energy, the weaker it gets, right? So you have to recharge that by giving it some downtime. Now, this was an interesting statistic that I did not know. And I took anatomy and physiology, okay? So the brain makes up 1/50th of our body mass, but consumes a staggering 1/5 of the calories we burn for energy. So you've got to feed your mind. You've got to feed it the right stuff. Listen, studies concluded that willpower is a mental muscle that doesn't bounce back quickly. If you employ it for more than for one task, there will be less power available for the next unless you refuel. So when you are dealing with one focused task, you are expending mental energy. So you don't have enough to go and do all of this other stuff, right? Because you have expended your mind. You have, done that first repetition, so you don't have muscle power for the 10th repetition, which is another task, unless you refuel. So it says that foods that elevate the blood sugar evenly over longer periods, like complex carbohydrates and proteins, become the fuel of choice for high achievers. Literal proof that you are what you eat. So not only is it a muscle that is used, you gotta feed it the right stuff. This is why you can't live your life on junk food, because it does nothing for your brain. And then he shares how to put your willpower to work. It says, so how do you put your willpower to work? You think about it. You pay attention to it and respect it. You make doing what matters most a priority when your willpower is its highest. In other words, you give it the time of day it deserves. Have you heard people ask you, like, when are you freshest? For me, I am sharpest in the morning. By the evening, I am dull. I was, just like totally wiped out. And that's why it says, when you're the freshest. So you do your most important, your one thing early to give it your fullest willpower. And then, when your other stuff, you're focusing on other stuff that's in a down state. So the most important thing gets the most attention, gets the most focus, so you can do the right thing that's going to steer you to success. And then whatever you have left over can go to the other less important stuff. So, this was an eye-opening thing for me about willpower, because you hear about willpower in the context of diets and all of that stuff, but not in the context of it being a mental exercise for you. So I'm telling you, get this book. I think this is the best read of the year for me. This is just awesome. So click on the link below. Get a copy. I don't care if you get it on Kindle, from iTunes or something. It is worth every single dime, because I think it's going to clear up a lot of misconceptions that we have, that's going to help us operate better in our business and operate better for ourselves. Okay, so that's it for me. Look for the next installment of the book. I'm reading so much good stuff, and I'm excited to share it with you. All right, if we're not connected on Facebook, click on the link below. I'd love to have you join my community. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.